Welcome back to EUREKA Farms for episode 17 with me, Mr. Sealy P. I mentioned a little while ago about the Stara. Now this was updated in the first update. Like I said, again, I haven't touched the second update. No, I'm not. I was going to say I'm considering doing the second update and then carrying on this Let's Play with standard stuff. But I don't think I can bring myself to do that. Anyway, we're at the biogas plant. Byproducts, my digestate. I have sold a fair bit of manure and silage through the biogas plant. So I thought we'll grab the modded Imperador. And as far as what I've got in storage, here I've got 444,045 litres still in storage, as well as the 150,000 litres I've just put into this. That's because this is the modded version, part of EUREKA Farms map after the first update, not the second update. I've just taken on a contract for fertilising on field 4, which is about 90 grand. So as you've already seen, I did a load more jobs, did some harvesting jobs, did some fertilising jobs, which took me back over $1 million. This just cost me 195 grand to buy, and I thought let's add it to the fertilising fleet of various different vehicles I've got. Why not? Again, it's about speeding up that process. I have also made another decision. Sunflower harvest I need to do. I'm going to plough in the poplars because I don't need more poplars. I don't need any more wood chips. I was going to leave them and let them regrow. I don't need them. I'm going to plough them in, plough them under. What I'm going to do is harvest the sunflowers on field 3, which is that field there. I'm going to plough the two fields together. I have an idea of what I might put in them. Now this is going to get through the digestate. Now normally this wouldn't be doing digestate. Now that's interesting. Hang on a minute. Did I have this problem before? Fertilise field 4 with any type of fertiliser, liquid, solid, slurry or manure. Why is that not? Oh, it is. That's going to be weird because it's not showing on the ground, but it is actually changing the state. Now the other thing I want to do is test out the other. See, this one I'm still puzzled by this, you know, because this supposedly was adjusted in the update, the first update. Because if I come into the menu here and we go along to crop protection. No, crop protection. This one here, like I say, now if you're coming onto this new, you won't have this option. This won't be here. 300,000 litres, that's for other things. Now this will do, apparently, lime fertiliser, liquid fertiliser, herbicide, slurry, manure, you know, yeah, it does, doesn't it? A bit of everything. But it does say the spread width there is 54 metres. So I need to try it with something else other than digestate, I think. So what I'll do is I'll carry on here on field 4, although that's hardly using any digestate now. So do I just leave that to chug away? I think I might do, to start off with, just leave that to work its way through the digestate. And when it's empty, I need to find out what this 54 metre thing is. Would that be solid fertiliser? No, would that be spreading it out? Because that will be further than the boom width. Well, this does have on the back, it does have the solid fertiliser flicker on the back, so that's probably what it is. Open that rear tank, that one there, open the tank. Why wouldn't I open the cover? That's weird. Open cover. Now that's doing indicators. Why won't the cover open? Is it because I've got the boom out? Oh, okay. Well, I'll check on that later on. Yeah, so that should take solid as well. At 300,000 litres. Which could technically, if I can do a bit of everything with this. Oh yeah, you can. Isn't that odd? It has changed it. It's lighter. I suppose because it's slurrying and not or digestating. So you're getting that slight sheen. It was difficult to tell in the light and with crops on there, but there is a definite change in the field. It was just the wrong angle. Yeah, okay, so what I'm going to do then, I'll leave this to run for a little bit. We'll see how we get on. I'm going to grab the plough and I'm going to plough out the poplars. And then I'm going to grab... Do I do that first or do I do the sunflowers first? Which reminds me, we could be looking at, in this episode, the next factory then. Because I was going to do sunflower oil, wasn't I? Oh, yeah, potentially. We'll see how this works out, because this could end up being the star of the show. Thank you very much. I'm here all week. Hopefully I'm here all week. It's been a weird couple of weeks, what with me having tonsillitis and not feeling so great, and then trying to keep up with the mod videos, then doing a couple of bits over the weekend, doing the Millennial Farms map tour Sunday. Today depends when this releases, but at the point of recording this bit, it's Monday the 8th, and I've been helping my eldest daughter move out. She's moved out today to move in with her boyfriend. Lovely, lovely lad. I've mentioned him before on the channel a few times. So yeah, I don't think, it depends if I even get a chance to finish doing the recording of this. I don't think there's going to be a mod review. I just haven't got the time to fit it all in. We've been backwards and forwards and loading up my car and, well, say my, yeah, it's a car. People carrier, whatever they call it. Yeah, it's been a bit of a hectic few days. So when I say I'll be here all week, I hope I will. I'd like to get back into more of a regular routine, if there is such a thing, if I do have any kind of regular routine, which I don't seem to, do I? We'll see how we go. I want to get my teeth into RASFET. That's been a bit kind of... I've been trying to get it kind of off and running. I've got all these ideas for sort of storyline narrative stuff, and the prep work and getting things ready and setting things up seems to take ages. And then again, then started to feel unwell and all the rest of it, and that, you know, with mods getting released and maps and all the various different things, I just feel personally that how I haven't kind of, that hasn't gained any traction yet. I haven't got going, and I need to, and I want to, because I really like that map. So the work is carrying on with there. I'm in my TLX 2020. I have got a new shed put in. I said I was going to. That's my trailers. It's not a drive-through, but that's not a problem. So the yard is filling up with gear. I'm going to grab the plough first. With the TLX 2020, because the trailer hitch on this, I can pull the plough at full speed. It's one of the beauties. That's not specific to this map. That's something you should be able to do with the TLX 2020 anyway. I'm pretty sure all of the 82 squared vehicles, I think with the trailer hitches, they have that kind of preset. Now, would you be ploughing normally with one of these? No, of course you wouldn't, I know. But as we are all more than aware now, this is our research and development farm, where we try out the zany and the peculiar. This is probably going to need liming as well. So as far as ploughing goes, oh yes, we'll make light work of it. And then what I'll do is I'll leave the plough out here, so when I've done the harvest on field 3, I'll plough the gap between the two. Now I have got an idea. Alex sent me a picture, and in the vein of doing slightly crazy stuff, it's not EUREKA FARMS specific, it's one of those kind of I'm not going to give the game away yet. I want to... Yeah, we might try it. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be doing cotton. Someone mentioned cotton, and I said, oh, you know, there's not really anything on the map that's been laid on by TNT in this version that will give me the ability to do anything at a large capacity or fast or anything like that. But there may be a solution to that, and it is very odd, but that'll be coming a bit further down the line. Thank you to Big Papa C. And a couple of people had mentioned the digestate. I had every intention of getting back round to the Stara at some point and trying it out and using it with digestate and slurry. My 4 horsemen are sitting there after doing a few harvesting contracts. There should be one available coming up on field 1, because that looks like it's ready to harvest, and field 6. So what we'll probably do at some point is jump onto there. Anyway, yeah. I should really go up and down first and then worry about the headlands, but I'll do it now. It's not a problem, it won't take me too long to get this done. And I'll check the lime situation, because I can always grab my lime spreader. Give it a quick coat of lime. This may need... Actually, does this need... Sorry, I know I'm bouncing backwards and forwards. I feel a bit discombobulated today. Hang on, let's go down, put that back on. Oh no, doesn't look like it does. Oh, that's good. And it looks like it's fully fertilised already anyway, so I won't have to worry. Whatever I decide to put into it, I shouldn't have to worry. Yeah, I don't know. That's how it's odd, isn't it? It's the second of my children to move out now, and it's a very strange feeling for those of you that are parents who've got older children that have moved out already. You're fully aware of how I feel, unless of course you really wanted them to move out. You were desperate for them to go. I don't know, potentially. You never know. Sometimes your children outgrow you. Sometimes you kind of all come to a mutual agreement. It's probably beneficial for, you know, people have reached that point. It's time to go. But it just feels odd. My firstborn. Yeah, I'm going to try not to get emotional. Okay, now let's just whiz up and down, shall we? I've got one corn header at the moment. All my other ones are for other crops, because we haven't actually, contract-wise, we haven't actually done any. I'm trying to think, we haven't planted any corn. We've done soybean and other crops and stuff, but not corn. So sunflower, I'm going to need the corn / sunflower header, of which I only own one, so I might need to do the sort of speed harvesting for that to get my field done. I could set my harvesters off, but then it's going to mean buying a whole new set of headers, which I think if I get more contracts pop up for corn or sunflowers, I'll probably end up buying more headers like that, but at the moment I don't need to. The couple of corn harvests I've done myself, I silage harvested. I didn't harvest the corn themselves, so I haven't really needed the header very much. This is crazy. This is, I mean, it's still, you know, I get it. I know a lot of people are saying they're struggling to get into this Let's Play, and it's not my usual thing. It's not what I normally do. There's not a narrative to it other than, got sidetracked. Got a bit of a wobble on. Yeah, there's not a storyline, a narrative other than the narrative of building the farm, of gradually increasing on what I'm doing, and you know, I suppose in real life, a farm growing is a farm growing. The narrative is that in itself, isn't it? It's what happens. You know, the story of a farm is its own thing. I suppose in real life it's a lot more organic, and it takes a lot longer for a farm to grow and build and expand, and you know, all these things you see YouTube farmers and stuff doing. It takes time, it takes money as well. That's the thing about it, isn't it? You know, and as I've said a lot of times, this game is a microcosm of life. You know, the prices and the time scales and the things are highly accelerated and highly, you know, they're augmented is the word I'm looking for, to aid in gameplay and speeding up the process. Seasons takes some of that and makes it a little bit more realistic. It depends how long you are running seasons for, but in essence everything you're doing is a microcosm of what would happen in the real world, just sped up. You know, there are some farms that have taken 40-50 years to grow to the point they're at, some more than that, hundreds of years. You know, in the UK there are farms that are, you know, incredibly old and are gradually kind of moving their way into the modern world. I was watching Tom Pemberton again the other day, and he was talking about, you know, he's been alluding to the fact they want to change a load of things on the farm, and they just kind of announced on the channel that they're getting a grant and investing in a whole new cow shed system, which should mean the cows aren't spread between all the various different barns and buildings that have been up for a long time and that are old and are leaking, and you know, they're changing things, they're moving forward with the farm. And Cole the Corn Star and all, you know, they're in the process of sorting out a $1 million grain bin setup. You know, it's you can't imagine reaching a point where you decide as a farm, as a family, right, this is what we're going to do next. That's such a huge investment, isn't it? You know, but incredible. Anyway, sorry, doing my usual. I don't think the slurry's run out yet. I would have got a message to say. I'm going to go and grab one of the harvesters, grab the sunflower header. Let's get the sunflowers done. While I'm doing that, maybe I can get the speed builders in, and maybe we can get the next factory up. What do we reckon? Sunflowers next. Let's get some sunflower oil on the go. Then the knock-on from that will be the potato chips, because I've got potatoes, and we can get potato chips going as well. We'll get a right little factory complex going. I thought I'd better top up the harvester. These things are thirsty beasts when they need filling up. I think I was down to just about a quarter of a tank. I hadn't even really noticed. So we should be almost there. Looks like going to be over $1,000, isn't it? Oh no, 823. That's not too bad, is it? Blimey, that's terrifying. Right, so we have got the tool height control for header for harvesters on the corn header. Let's open up. Whoops. Let's open up that. Not leap out while we're moving. Good grief, what is happening? My head is not in the game at all, is it? The digestate spreading on this with the Stara, it was down to its last sort of 20,000 litres. So how we go. Let's drop that down. Start it up. So with the tool height control, this also should be able to harvest at the full speed of the vehicle. From testing that has been done by various subscribers who have messaged me, because I've mentioned the various different times when people have said that fast harvesting, fast farming along these lines using the tool height control reduces yield. I've had quite a few people message me with various different screenshots of figures and stuff saying no difference whatsoever, negligible if any. And as far as it seems to wear out the header quicker, it needs repair quicker. I personally have found that a lot of people have said it makes no difference. I'm finding me, that when I'm doing this, the header just seems to require a bit more often. How much sunflower we're going to end up with off this field, I'm not entirely sure anyway. Sunflower pays out quite well because the yields aren't as high with sunflower. Again, it's that which one, chicken or egg, are the prices high because it's not high yielding. Well, it would be the other way around, would it? One drives the other, you know what I mean. The crops just refuse to yield because people aren't paying enough. Yeah, it's not going to be a huge amount, is it? Because this is a very big field. And this had everything done to it. It was fully fertilised. We've still got a fair bit of the field left to do. And we will get some sunflower oil out of it regardless. So the money has gone down a bit again. Those factories are only 46 grand a pop, so the down payment has been made. Building is in progress. What I might do, although this, you know, the workers don't like the tool height control when they're left to their own devices, I need to check on that Stara. So with the Stara bought, I am now personally looking at, I'm in the market for another 2 harvesters because I want to run 6. I want to utilise the full 6 workers available on console and run 6 harvesters. As I mentioned in the last episode, I've never done that before, so I want to try that. I'm curious to see. And again, thank you to all the comments, all the people that messaged to say they've had no problems or issues at all with lag or anything. I know on some maps people have often said, oh yeah, when you get maximum workers going. I must admit, I did find on Stone Valley, when I was running 3 harvesters, if I was running 3 harvesters and a vehicle on the field and they were fairly close together, I did get a little bit of frame rate drop. I did find that. But a few people messaged and said on here, on EUREKA, they haven't had any issues. They run 6 harvesters. And some people said they've run them on other maps and farms and never had a problem at all. So, no, I wasn't envisaging it being too much of an issue, but I just want to see 6 harvesters running. You know, I want to see the 4 running. I haven't done 4 in. I don't think I've ever done 4. 3's been the most I've gone to. I think I did 3 harvesters. I'm pretty sure I've said this before as well. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. On Norfolds was one of the first times I think I ran 3, and then on Stone Valley, I'm trying to think, on Washoe I think I did 3. I'm sure I did 3 on Washoe, not 4. Right, what I'm going to do now is, I'm curious because of what I kind of found. And again, this could be misremembering. I could have sworn that with the worker going, the harvester with the corn header seemed to do the turns at either end no problem at all, even with the tool height control, compared to the regular headers. But this is going to probably prove me wrong now. If this does the turn no problem, I'm all right for at least 1 run down the field because it might flip out at the other end. Yeah. It's not going to work. I'm sure I did once. It ran and ran and ran, and I was really surprised. Unless, of course, that's just as that just happened to have coincided with the other worker running out of. No, it would have said actually. Right, let's get that going. And let's go and check on the Stara. That's pretty good timing. Down to our last 2,000 litres. It's done a fair bit of the field as well. 150,000 litres. Not quite half, because obviously that's a bigger half. Yeah, fractions. Never my strong suit. Okay, couldn't have been better timing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put solid. It should take solid fertiliser. It has got the spreader on the back, hasn't it? I wonder if with that folded, that I'll be able to open the cover. Yeah, now it's opening. Oh well. So again, from my CNS modding Annmarie silo, the multi-silo shop, my other fertiliser spreaders take 250,000 litres. This will hold, well, I'm assuming this will hold 300,000 litres. It says it does. This particular version of. And I want to see if that will spread out to 54 metres. I'm also curious to see whether or not that worker's going to have a fit when he gets into the field or not. This will seriously speed up my fertilising times and everything as well now, because this is my third fertiliser spreader. I've got 2 of the Braidell K165s. Add this into the mix as well. And that first Braidell, that first 165 that I filled up with 250,000 litres of solid fertiliser, still hasn't run out. I think I'm down to about 40 something thousand litres, but it still hasn't run out. Madness. Right, let's open the cover. Fingers crossed, because I think this is, on this map, this will do everything, doesn't it? Yeah. So, like I say, this should, yeah, it has stopped, look. So this should do 300,000 litres. 250,000 litres has been costing me 20 grand. So obviously 300,000 litres will be a little bit more, but still, and this is not a EUREKA Farms thing. This is not a trick. This is available. This is in the Modhub. This multi-silo shop. The fertiliser is so cheap. That's not going to do 300,000 litres, is it? That's going to be 150,000 as well. So what in there? Yeah, that's 75,000 litres. That's halfway. That's so weird because... No, that is what I wanted. Yeah, that says 300,000 litres. It's unusual to have it a combined... Well, I suppose it would be combined, because normally your tank can do one or the other, but this can carry both at the same time, can't it? It can do liquid and solid at the same time. So yeah, it is. It's 150,000, so it won't be as much as that anyway. As you'll see. 12 grand for 150,000 litres. But what I was checking to see was, does this spread out to 54 metres? Also forgot I can widen the track as well. Need to do that because that looks cool. I am racing the rain as well with the sunflowers because it is saying it's going to rain. Although last time that happened I kept saying I need to get this harvest done, I'll do another, and then I'll do one more contract, then one more contract. I think I did 4 harvest contracts in the end before the rain actually started, but when it did start it rained for ages. So I do really want to get ahead of it. Now I need to try and see where I finished off. I was about halfway, wasn't I? That's what I was saying. I shouldn't have to open the boom because this should spread from the back. Let's check the map. Yeah. So... go to about there. Let's see what happens. So let's hire a worker. That's not 54 metres. I thought this had been fixed. I was sure in the first update, not the second, that it said that had been, the widths had been fixed. That hasn't been fixed. Unless there's an option to change it, but I don't think there is. That's just for the wheel track. No. Well, I'm a little bit disappointed if I'm honest. because I've got a gap now which I'm going to have to go back over. So that boom width isn't 54 metres standard. If I go back into crop protection, the standard one there is 27. So it's supposed to be double that. 27 metres. That one definitely says 54. How bizarre. Oh well. That's made a mockery of my thumbnail now. After saying what I said, I was going to call it Stara the Show and have that as the thumbnail. But it's not. I mean, don't get me wrong. That will still be able to fertilise alongside my other equipment. But considering that costs me, I mean, it's self-propelled, I guess, so I can leave a worker, but I could leave a worker with another one being pulled. The Bradale K165s are like 79 grand. So I'm going to sell this back now. I'm going to lose a big chunk of money on it. Or should I just keep it anyway? Just one thing, is this, it's not something I'm missing, is there? There's not an option or a... I've always liked the look of these as well. I think the self-propelled sprayers are brilliant. Such a clever idea. Oh well, right, well back to sunflowers then. What I'll do is get one of the K165s out here alongside this to get this done quicker. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll leave that to keep going that way. And I'll do the strip myself the other way. Get the sunflowers done first. You know what? I'm doing this a disservice because this I can do everything. I can do the slurry and everything with this, can't I? The other one I can do lime and I can do fertiliser. That's great. But the whole point about this was the fact that I can come over here to the biogas plant and use my byproducts. Plus I've got a load of slurry from the cows as well, which this will do as well. So no, you know what? I'm sticking to what I originally said. Alright, so it doesn't spread out to 54 metres. But, come on. I can't do one or the other, surely. Oh, there we go. Cool. So, yeah, combined 500. 500. I said fractions wasn't my forte. Mass in general. It's funny how quickly you can fall out of practice with something. I taught maths at primary school. And when you're doing it day in, day out, and you're practicing a skill, you're doing it all the time, it's second nature, and all the tricks of the trade and all the things that go with teaching that particular thing. But it is quite, I say funny, it's more scary than funny, just how quickly you can lose that. It really is, lose that. Just a little bit more. Actually, do I want to drop that down? Yeah, let's drop it down a bit. It's nice flat ground, isn't it? We might as well. Right, don't need that one anymore. Take back everything I said about you. Can you imagine in real life that thing squirting slurry or digestate out through those nozzles? How blocked those was getting, how quickly. What are you doing, you buffoon? I give up, I really do. So now we've got that sorted. That's off and running. Let's get this finished, shall we? Get this field then fertilised, cultivated, ploughed, limed, whatever needs to be done with it. And then we can get it re-prepped, the gap ploughed between the two. We can get the contents of this delivered and we'll get some sunflower oil on the go. Blimey. How's everyone doing out there? How's everyone out there in Farm Sim Land world? Everything good with you where you are? We are on the brink, the cusp of potentially coming out of lockdown. CLG went back to school today. School. I always say school. College. Sixth form college. Whatever, however you want to refer to it. She went back today. So, yeah, schools are kind of back. How long that will last for, I don't know. I know a lot of kids, keyword children have been in school kind of all the way through. But, yeah, and then there's talk of what now, is it the 12th here in the UK anyway? 12th of April, isn't it? I'll say 12th, yeah. That some things will start to reopen again. Hospitality, only if you're in the garden, that kind of thing. I don't know, we'll see what happens. It's all just a very strange world to be living in right now. I suppose that's the other thing that's going to feel very strange here in my house, especially tomorrow, is the fact that we're all here. I don't know if I've mentioned it before. I mentioned last week my twins. It was their birthday. They had a great time. Thank you for all the well wishes and all the kind comments and remarks, and thank you. I really do appreciate that. And they did. They loved it. They went through all the comments on Facebook, and you know, they thought it was wonderful. So thank you for that. But one of my twins works at the local pharmacy down the road from us. So she's been working the whole way through. She hasn't not been working. My other twin works in hospitality management. She works at a local public house. So they've been closed. So she's been at home. CLG's been working in one room. My eldest daughter was working from home and she was working in another room. My wife is in the front room. I'm under the stairs. But from tomorrow, because my eldest has now just moved out, so she's going to be working from home at her new home. CLG's gone back to college. So tomorrow's going to feel very weird. It's going to be the quietest the house has been in quite a while. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose it's that I've always been, I know myself, my wife, I don't think we ever envisaged having 5 kids, but when we, got together and, we got married and we said about starting a family, we knew we wanted to have, more than one child. And I've probably mentioned this before, but obviously we had my eldest who's just moved out, and then we had twins immediately. Well, not obviously not immediately, that's not how it works, but you know what I mean. The next pregnancy was twins, so we went from 1 to 3. So then after that, it was that case of, well, what's one more? We've done twins, haven't we? And again, I've probably mentioned this before. It never actually occurred to us that potentially we could get twins again, which would have been, quite scary. So we always knew we wanted to have a large-ish family. And I suppose when they were all young, this time, as they're all getting to that age where they are starting to kind of go on to do other things, that always seems like such a long way away. It's such a long time away. It's not something you have to worry about. It's just off in the distance. I'm not sure how well I'm going to cope with a quiet house. Just let that sink in. It's a bit awkward as well, I suppose, because I help to move the stuff, but with all the social bubble stuff and that kind of thing, because we can't really visit. You're not allowed to, mix bubbles and all that kind of stuff, and it's weird. Someone's moving in, they can't really have a housewarming sort of thing, and I thought, it'd be lovely to, let them settle in, and then my wife said, "Oh, we'll pop over for a cup of tea," and it's not. You can't really do that. I don't know. It's a bit odd, isn't it? So looks like I'm trying to think. Have we got 3 stacks there? 3. Yeah, potentially the factory's there, ready to go. Contract on field 4 is complete. The digestate spreading. I did set the fertilizer spreader, the other one that we kind of passed on the way, on the far side of the field, so they've obviously done that nice and quickly. So what we'll do while we're whizzing up the field, if I keep in a straight line, is we'll hop on to here. Let's complete that. Harvesting 11, cultivating, sowing. There's a couple of others. I'll leave those for the time being. Okay. Things are looking good. I always found sunflowers very much like the corn. If you come too far in, you can kind of miss bits. You come out a little way and you can just see there's some almost like some hidden. It kind of takes sunflowers that aren't technically there. You can just see it as the animation. If you go too far away, it stops. I'm always worried if I go too far in, I'm going to miss potential crop. But then you'd still see it standing up, wouldn't you? I don't know. It's one of those weird. Your mind kind of plays tricks on you. So anyhow, regardless of what's happened, whatever happens by the end of this episode, we have got a new factory, we have got a new fertilizer spreader, sprayer, dribbler, I suppose it's a sprayer, it's not a dribble bar, is it? And yes, as I said earlier, in no way would it do that in the real world. Unless your digestate or slurry is so watery that you could spray out of those nozzles would be blocking just constant. Nearly there. We should crack 100,000 litres. I think as well what I'll do, I won't need to worry about a trailer. What we'll do is just take the harvester straight over to the new factory. We'll get the factory switched on and running, and we'll just empty directly into the pit, I guess, from the harvester. That would be the best way of doing it, I think. Help preface complete their task. But I finished the contract on field 4. Does it just keep going? Probably. Now this series will be coming to an end fairly soon. I say fairly soon. I've done more episodes than I thought I was going to. I thought I'd only probably do about 10 episodes, something like that. But then I kind of got the bug of wanting to do more with the farm. So I still have got the target of getting to 1,000 cows, which we'll do. That's not a problem. Financially, we'll get to a point we'll be able to. I want to get one of the big fields. Someone did mention in the last episode, get field 4. That's a bit big. And I want to do a big harvest on one of the big fields just for me. Just, rather than it be a contract job, everything that comes off that field will be ours. I want to try out this other thing, the cotton thing. And I do want to run 6 harvesters. Once I've ticked all those things off my list, I think we'll be moving on. Because all the research that I've wanted to do, I will have done. I will have ticked off a load of things off my kind of farming bucket list, all the stuff that's difficult to do on a normal Let's Play, that's been a lot easier to do on this one, like the 1,000 cows, like running 4, 5, 6 harvesters. You know, yes, it is possible. I'm not saying it's not possible to do on a regular Let's Play, but when you're kind of building up and it's a kind of start from scratch scenario, to get to a point from start from scratch where you can be running 6 harvesters takes a lot longer. And the beauty about doing harvests on big fields on here, as opposed to when I did Stone Valley, is because of the fast farming thing I'm doing here and the large capacity harvesters and, you know, all those kind of things, has enabled me to do harvests on big fields much quicker, which on a regular Let's Play I personally wouldn't normally do. Now I know using the tool height control you can do on a regular Let's Play, of course you can, but obviously for the Let's Plays I normally do, it's not something I would normally do. So yeah, it's just been a kind of, it's been a ticking things off and saying, you know, I did that, rightly or wrongly, whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it. I wanted to do what all the cool kids were doing. I wanted to farm like DJ. So, nearly there. Sure, the harvesting contracts on field 1 and field 6 should come up soon, because both fields look like they're ready. We're not running seasons, so you don't generally get that period where it looks like it's ready to harvest, but it's not. Normally when it hits that state, it's ready, but I left all my harvesters over there by field 6 just in case, but it hasn't popped up. I did leave the plough just over there, so we will plough the gap between the two. That does mean with the new factory being built and ploughing out that gap between the two fields here, I am losing a little bit of grass capacity, because there'll be 2 strips, or a part where the factory is, and that strip across between these 2 fields where I did have grass growing, but it's a fairly small amount on the grand scheme of being able to get, you know, over 3 million litres of grass cut in kind of one sitting, so to speak. Excellent. Turn it off, lift it up, fold that up. Let's go. Let's boogaloo till we puke. And let's check out the new factory. Again, that's another thing I haven't really done. Factories. I've looked at them. I haven't run any long term, and I certainly haven't done 3. So, yeah. Okay. I need to put up another one of those small shelters, aren't I? Well, I mean, again, I don't need to, but I put my my products under a roof. I could put them into a barn or a building. So what I'll probably do, looking at this, is... So I've got this shelter up here for the laminate boards to go under. I've got that one over there for the sugar pallets to go under. So what I'll probably do is stick one maybe on the side of there, out that way, and then we can put our sunflower oil under. Although I've missed some landscaping. Can't have that. What's going on? How do I do that? Oh, it's in the shade, that's why. That was a bit weird. Okay. Phew. Right. So what I need to do is go over to here, onto this one here, click on that, move it over to there like you would do with an animal, confirm, and our factory should be now operational, which means I should just be able to empty into... I'm pretty sure that does only take... It only needs sunflowers. Yeah, just sunflowers. Excellent. Right. So what we'll do is open the pipe. We'll swing around over here. Oh, that took it already. That wasn't what I was intending. That's more what I was intending. Now, will this take 100,000 litres or does it take less? 37, 43. I don't. It's not going to take 100,000, is it? $80. It's weird how they're all different capacities, isn't it? But that does now mean sunflower oil is on the go. Sugar, laminate boards, sunflower oil. And then chips factory next to that, do you reckon? Maybe. Let's put this header back, or should I do a bit of repair? Oh no, I know what to do. Let's put that into storage. Well, that's going to storage. Let's actually check the animals to see what we're up to. Feed and everything's good. Water's good. Everything's in the green. We're looking all right. Milk 14,000. Milk 11,000. Yes, they've got 140,000 litres of slurry there. 31,000 there. So having that Stara on hand, I can then be utilising all that. I mean, I could. There is the. Have I got it installed? I'm just thinking. Have I got installed the? What's it under? Not sure. I've got so much stuff installed on here. There's the slurry sell point. Is it the MISSYB one? Don't know if I've got it installed though. Yeah, there we go. The slurry yard. Sell all unwanted manure, slurry and digestate. Now someone did say that's worth its weight in gold because it pays out really well. I haven't actually used it yet. That might not be a bad idea. Maybe we could get one of those. Maybe I'll speak to MISSYB's Farming Solutions and see if they're prepared to build one somewhere near us or even on the site where we can get rid of all of our unwanted manure, slurry and digestates. But that's something worth bearing in mind. It's only £5 as well. Yeah. Excellent. So, new factory, new piece of machinery. Oh, that was what I was going to finish off with. Let's park that up. Switch to that. Close that. Header actually doesn't. It might need some work. It probably won't hurt, will it? Slow that. It is leased. It doesn't actually belong to me, but it doesn't hurt to do a bit of work, does it? Oh yeah, it does need a bit. And then I'll go and grab the plough. We'll plough the gap between the two fields, and I'll be good to go for the next step. But everything here on EUREKA Farms is continuing apace. I think 2:03 in the afternoon tomorrow we'll be in a position to cut grass again, and that time we will do it full grass. I did make another 300,000 litres of, actually we'll leave that there, of TMR off screen with my TMR setup. If you didn't watch the episode where I talked about or did my TMR making using the TMR mix here, all the mods I'm using are in the description for the video. I think they all are, apart from the ones that are modded into the map, which, let's say, aren't available. But having the setup like this, it's very quick and easy just to come and, you know, I grab a trailer every now and again, stick in 75,000 litres of silage, 75,000 litres of straw, 150,000 litres of hay, 300,000 litres, trailer, wallop, into the other silo, 300,000 litres made. It takes no time at all, and I can just keep myself topped up with TMR as I need it, which is perfect. what we'll do is check the field state to see how we're looking and for... Oh, that's great. Oh, hang on. Let's check the lime situation. Oh, it needs lime. Okay, well, I'll plough the gap. Because when I've ploughed the gap, that will need liming too, so I might as well do it all in one hit. We'll get the lime on that. Mind you, I'm just thinking that's going to be a lot of cotton, isn't it? Ah, that's the whole point of this, isn't it? Go big or go home. Or in my case, just go insane, I think. And so, I want L1 and triangle. Drop it down, create fields. There we go. Just join that with that. Perfect. Drop it down. We have come to the end of another episode here in the slightly bonkers, zany, crazy world of EUREKA Farms, Go Ham Industries Research and Development. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.